Hello, you're watching Access Asia on France 24. I'm Mariam Saab. Coming up. As Pakistan renews its vow to crack down on Islamic extremism, a popular shrine for a man hung for murder sends a radically different message. We go panning for gold in rural Kyrgyzstan, where farmers swap agricultural work for gold mining to get through the winter months. And in China, scorned wives have turned to mistress hunters to ward off the other woman and rein in their cheating husbands. But first, in Pakistan, dozens were killed and hundreds more injured when a suicide bomber targeted the shrine of a Sufi philosopher in February. Since then, the government has vowed to do more to avert terror plots. But what about extremist propaganda? A tomb adorned with rose petals in Islamabad has become a shrine for pro-Islamist supporters, turning a man executed for murder into a martyr for their cause. Shanam Sante brings us the story.
A shrine built for an Islamist murderer. In this tomb lies Mumtaz Qadri, a policeman hanged by Pakistan for killing a politician he was supposed to protect. But many see him as a saint, and each day dozens visit the family-built shrine.
I don't call on people to come visit the shrine. They come on their own accord. They come at any cost. Those that are devoted to the Prophet, they will always come.
Qadri was thrust into the spotlight in 2011 when he shot Liberal Punjab Governor Salman Taseer 27 times in broad daylight. He was driven by the politician's call to reform a controversial blasphemy law. Blasphemy is a hugely sensitive topic in Pakistan, where even unproven allegations can lead to murder and lynchings. This time the state was quick to react, sentencing Qadri to execution, but not before he'd become a hero in the eyes of the religious right.
It's a joke at the face of it, that a person is adjudged terrorist by the highest constitutional court of the country. His shrine is being built and is shown as a great martyr and all that.
For Qadri's followers, this act was brave and justified. Thousands poured out onto the streets following his execution. Muhammad Norman travelled 1,000 kilometres from the southern port city of Karachi to pay his respects.
This is our faith for which he sacrificed his life, and we thank God for it. May Allah accept this sacrifice and provide us with more opportunities like this to give our life. If we can't give our life, we can give our money.
Pakistan has been locked in conflict with religious extremists for over a decade. According to some, the government's lack of response stems from a desire to try and maintain calm and order.
The cost of doing something could be much worse than the potential consequences of something that actually hasn't happened yet, right? There's no documented case of some individual getting, following the footsteps of Qadri and killing another individual in the name of religion. That has not happened yet. But what we do know is that if the government takes a step, goes after this shrine, there's a very, very good chance there's going to be anarchy in the streets.
Qadri's family used donations in his name to build the shrine. A mosque will follow once more funds come through. This sends out a confusing message in a country which has renewed its vows to root out extremism.
Almost 10% of Kyrgyzstan's GDP is generated through exporting gold. And while the vast majority of that is unearthed in huge mines, panning for gold deposits in remote areas of the country also provide agricultural labourers with a welcome income boost during the colder months. But it's difficult and time-consuming work, as Haxi Myers-Belkin tells us in this report.
The small village of Tashbashat in the Naran region of Kyrgyzstan is usually farming country. But during the harsh winter months, agricultural work grinds to a halt. And the locals swap livestock for gold. Gold accounts for 8% of the country's GDP, most of which comes from the Kutmor mine. But that's a long way away. Here on the outskirts of Tashbashat, The gold lies on the bed of this freezing river.
I come here to pan for gold with friends. They're setting up the fire back there so we can dry our instruments. It's winter and the average temperature is around minus 40 degrees Celsius, so we need to defrost them.
Sifting for gold here is only possible during the coldest months. In summer, all the snow melts and the river becomes fast-flowing and dangerous.
Today it's warmer than usual, maybe minus 25 degrees Celsius. In the evening it's minus 30, and it feels even colder than that in the water. It's extremely cold.
Panning through the grit is difficult work. And this is the prize. It's not a lot, but some days they find nothing.
Today we only got half a gram. In the village, there's nowhere to sell gold. With the help of God, we will go looking for more gold tomorrow. We'll get it all together, and then we will go to the city of Naryn to sell it.
Every winter, the men make around $1,000 or 950 euros, which they share between themselves.
In the quest for perfection, K-pop band Six Bomb have dropped a cosmetic bombshell on their fans. The controversial girl band have gone to extreme measures to live up to the name of their latest single, Becoming Pretty, going under the knife at a cost of thousands and unveiling their dramatic transformation in a shocking video clip. Josh Vardy has more.
Whether it's a bizarre publicity stunt or a statement on beauty standards, it certainly got Korean pop band Six Bomb noticed. The four members of this girl group have had thousands of euros worth of plastic surgery done for their new single, Becoming Pretty, which was released in two parts, before and after. In Before, the group is shown in consultations with plastic surgeons and dance around an operating theatre. The results of the surgery are then revealed in After. Six Bomb say they were already planning to have the surgery and thought they would just be honest about it.
We decided to do this because we thought we could make more of an impact on people by telling them with confidence that we've become prettier by having a little bit of plastic surgery done.
An estimated 1.2 million plastic surgery procedures are carried out in South Korea every year. It's the world's third largest market for cosmetic body modification. Six Bomb's management spent around 90,000 euros on the surgery for all four performers, including breast implants and extensive facial work. While the band members all say they underwent the scalpel willingly, rapper Soa said she was happy with how she looked before.
I had attractive eyes with no double eyelids. I was very satisfied and happy with my previous eyes. And my friends also told me that I looked okay without double eyelids. But I decided to have plastic surgery to go along with the concept of the song.
Six Bomb have released 5 albums since 2012 but never became major stars. Now reaching their mid-20s, the four members face intense competition from younger groups in a K-pop music scene obsessed with shine, glamour and youth.
The saying, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned," is at the root of an entrepreneurial venture in China. A wife confronted with her husband's infidelity can enlist the services of a so-called mistress hunter, whose job it is to convince the other woman to walk the other way. Anka Ulia has the story.
In Shanghai, when a woman's husband is cheating on her, she'll often turn to Ming Li.
Welcome to the largest mistress dispelling agency.
Divorce in China is still taboo, and many women face destitution if they leave their husbands, who often support them financially. The blame then falls on the mistress. Ming Li dedicates her life to tracking down mistresses and convincing them to break off their affairs. It all starts with a consultation. Li is helping a woman in her 40s whose husband is cheating on her. She asked not to be identified.
My first instinct was to file for divorce. But then I thought about it, talked to friends, and decided to save my marriage.
How can I help you?
I'd like you to break up my husband and his mistress.
To get her wish, the woman needs to be prepared to pay the price. The entire operation can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Then Lee's team gets to work. The agency employs 300 agents across the country, anti-divorce investigators who are ready to go to far lengths to save their client's marriage. Yu is one of the most experienced mistress hunters. He's been doing this for 5 years.
He's one of our best experts. He's even willing to sacrifice himself so the mistress develops feelings for him instead of her married lover.
The idea is to create a new identity to lure the mistresses. We find excuses to call them or to pretend we accidentally run into them. The point is we need to build a relationship with them.
That relationship can vary, from full-on seduction to posing as a confidant who convinces the mistress to break up with her lover. Part of their strategy is also to rent out apartments near the mistresses. This Shanghai apartment is just below the apartment of a woman they are tracking.
Each time the woman leaves the building, we can see her from here. It's great.
The investigators learn that the mistress likes animals, so they got a dog to help start conversation. They have 2 strategies to deter her.
Either we hire a handsome actor, more handsome than our client's husband, who can seduce the mistress, or we make it worth her while to move to a different city by finding her a good job.
But while Lee's strategies sometimes border on camp, other agencies take a more aggressive approach. Some publicly humiliate mistresses or beat them until they agree to break up with their lovers. For Lee, it takes about 6 months on average to close a case. But those who are patient reap the rewards. The agency has a 90% success rate.
In a burst of floral fireworks of pink and white, Japan's iconic cherry blossom is in full bloom, a sign that spring has truly sprung. The centuries-old practice of hanami, meaning to picnic under a flowering sakura, will soon have people vying for a spot of shade. The blooms won't last long, which is why the tree has grown into a symbol for life itself. We'll leave you with these images. Until next week, goodbye.